Good morning. As you guys all well know, that yesterday members of our track and cross-country team were violently struck by a vehicle as they were preparing to run at practice on the sidewalks there on Main Street. More public school staff and students have been at the hospital with our families and in constant contact with them since they've been receiving treatment. So here are the updates that we have at this time regarding our students. Unfortunately, this morning we've just been made aware that our sophomore student, Miss Yuridia Martinez, she's a sophomore at Moore High School, has passed away due to the injuries she received after being struck. Yesterday, our senior student, Miss Rachel Freeman, she passed away there at the scene of the incident. And in more schools, our deepest condolences are with the Martinez and the Freeman families. Joseph White, he is a senior at Moore High School. Colby Crum is a senior at Moore High School. And Shiloh Hutchinson, she is a junior at Moore High School. They're still hospitalized right now, and Shiloh is actually currently in surgery receiving treatment for a broken arm and some a broken leg and ankle. We have a sophomore male, Ashton Baza. He suffered a broken leg and a broken ankle, and he was released yesterday from the hospital. So that is the update on the students that we have right now.
Good morning. I want to take just a minute to address our students and our first responders that were there shortly after the incident occurred yesterday afternoon. Obviously, our first responders were there within minutes, but before they were there, true testament of our students at Moore High School. Without hesitation or second thought, our students were there with their friends and began life-saving tactics, including CPR, of the runners that were there. Their actions were short of heroic. So very grateful to our students at Moore High School. Obviously, our community is devastated. We're hurting, but we are embracing one another and doing that well. We've obviously faced unspeakable tragedy. Again, we will continue to hold each other. We will continue to grieve together, and we will continue to work in healing and beginning that healing process. One of the things that we organized late last night was the setup for this morning at Moore High School. We've got 16 of our own mental health specialists to work with not only students but our staff. We also have 14 from outside of the school district that has come in to offer their hands. So we appreciate our neighboring schools and our agencies helping us out with that. Those of you that aren't familiar with Moore Public Schools, we are a very small community, but we're a very large school district. So when we talk about Moore High School and them being dealt this hand, we also have junior highs and elementaries that are struggling too, as we have siblings at those schools, and we have therapy dogs available and numerous administration on those campuses to work with our students. Also wanted to let you all know, or our community know, that we will be having a vigil this evening at 6 p.m. at Moore High School in the large gym. That's going to be one of the first steps as we process and express our feelings and allow students and staff to express their feelings in working through this tragedy together. A lot of people have reached out via text and email and social media asking what they can do. My ask is to keep our students, our staff, and our families in your thoughts and prayers, and we're trying to process this unthinkable tragedy. Thank you.
Yesterday at around 3:30, we responded to the accident. It's right at the 1200 block of East Main. When officers arrived, there were multiple injuries from a vehicle. Just a short distance away, approximately 3 blocks away, we were able to take into custody Max Townsend, who is in the Cleveland County Detention Center right now. He was booked in under manslaughter in the first degree and 6 counts of leaving the scene of injury accident. Those charges can and probably will change, especially as conditions change of the victims. So right now, there's not a PC affidavit available because that is ongoing and is changing as we speak. As far as the investigation, I know the big question a lot of people have is why? What happened? Why did this happen? We've had investigators working on this since 3:30 yesterday, all night, and will continue to work on this, and I assure you, we will find out why and know exactly what happened and how it happened, and then deal with the individual that caused this after that investigation is complete. An investigation like this takes a very long time. There are a lot of components that go into it, a lot of detailed components with vehicles these days that take time to get the information out of the vehicle. It's very technical on how these investigations are worked with the equipment that we have nowadays, and we are working that around the clock right now until we come to a conclusion. At that point, the charges will be presented to the Cleveland County District Attorney. With that, any questions you have for me or?
Is Townsend under suicide watch?
I do not know that.
Do we know if he was under the influence of anything at the time of the accident?
His blood was drawn last night. We will know 100% if he was under the influence of anything. That is something that's being investigated.
Can you talk about the connection from Sunday with the hit and run?
Yes, there's been a lot of reports of, we did have a fatality accident here in Moore on Sunday. Max Townsend was the person that was killed in that crash. Just like with this crash, a fatality crash takes a little while to work. There's a lot of things that go into that, even though it's a little bit different circumstances, there still is a lot that goes into that. But that is the son of the person that is involved in this incident as well.
Can you give us some details on that crash?
The incident is still under investigation as far as exactly what happened. His vehicle struck a vehicle, ended up hitting a telephone pole, flipping over, which is what caused the fatality. Details of it, that's still under investigation, and we should know pretty soon the details of that crash.
Do you have any hits at the telephone pole?
Yes, he ended up into a telephone pole, and then the vehicle ended up upside down.
Do you have
Is that what caused the first student to die?
No, this was the crash on Sunday.
That was Sunday.
Jeremy,
Yes.
were there other more high school kids involved in that crash on Sunday?
No, there was not.
Do you have any indication of, what his mindset was yesterday when he was doing this?
Not at this, that is what we're working on right now.
Jeremy, how fast was he going?
Do not know that. We will know exactly how fast he's going based on the vehicle information. We do have video that will assist in that and other ways of determining that, but as of right now, I don't have that.
Has he said at all if he did it intentionally?
He is, as far as questioning or anything like that, we don't have that right now.
His son who died on Sunday, did he attend Moore High School as well?
I don't know if he was not a current student. He was 29 years old. As far as where he went to school, I do not know.
Did he go up on the sidewalk?
That is under investigation as far as where the students were struck. Preliminary looks like, yes, they were on the sidewalk.
Jeremy, you said these students, they were in practice at this time, right?
They were cross-country track students that were going, technically, yes, that's practice. They go and run through that neighborhood, and yes, they were starting their run.
Do you know if this is where the driver lived? Did he live in this area, or was he?
He is not from Moore, no. He does not live in this area. He does have family in this area.
Where does he live?
I'll get you that. I don't, right off knowledge, I don't know. It's not here.
Was there any indication of where he was going yesterday? Did he say?
He does have family in that area.
Do you know if these two incidents are related in any way?
That's something that we're trying to determine.
Any indication of where he was before?
No, but that also will come out in the investigation.
Can you talk if he passed the field sobriety test?
I cannot. That also is, going to be part of the investigation and will be available to you just as soon as I have it.
Jeremy, are investigators still at the scene of the crash?
I don't believe so. Let
No.
me say something right fast.
This is our Chief of Police, Todd Strickland.
Just to let you know, I have 3 teams of investigators involved in this. Obviously, I have accident specialists and reconstructionists on Sunday's event. I have accident specialists and reconstruction specialists on yesterday's event, along with our criminal investigations unit assisting in yesterday's event. They will work diligently and try and come to a conclusion of what happened. They will look for evidence of either a crime, try and either prove or disprove. And once they get that information, they will give that over to the district attorney's office, in which time to see if the charges that we have filed now are appropriate or if they need to be amended. Now, I heard questions that, was this an intentional act? That is part of the investigation in which our detectives will try to prove or disprove.
Can you put in perspective,
There were interviewing people, we're downloading information that we can get from vehicles. We have technical expertise, cell phones, computers. We're trying to look to try and, like someone said, try and piece back as far as we can to see Mr. Townsend's conduct and events over the last couple of days. And that's what my detectives and accident specialists are working diligently to do and try and come to a conclusion. And we will filter that information to Sergeant Lewis, where he can release that to you just as soon as we can and at the appropriate time.
Has Townsend talked about his son's death at all in interviews with detectives?
That would be part of the evidence in the interview that I would not mention right now if that happened, but I don't know.
Do you know if Mr. Townsend said anything to officers at the scene when he was arrested or came into custody?
I don't know, but that is part of the investigation.
Are you able to say if you found anything in the car, such as weapons, alcohol, intoxication, anything like that?
There were signs of impairment due to the standardized field sobriety testing that we gave him, and that was part of the investigation yesterday and why he was arrested.
Did he stop on his own, or how did that all play out?
I don't have that information, but we did not stop him. At the time the police got there, he was already stopped, and I believe we took him out of the vehicle.
There were signs of impairment based on a field sobriety test, you said?
Yes, sir.
But you can't say exactly if you physically found anything in the car.
I do not know if they physically found anything.
Did he have a very long driving record?
He has an extensive criminal history involving DUIs, leaving the scene of an accident, and drug possession.
Does he have a driver's license?
I do not know.
Given that history, should he have been on the road at all?
That's not really for us to, I'll find out if he has a valid license. Other than that, I really can't speculate on that. Anything else? Just know also, there have been a couple questions on the blood test. That is something that is sent to OSBI. That takes a little bit of time. That's not something we're going to have today, tomorrow, this week. That takes sometimes weeks. So as soon as we have those results, I will get those to you, but that's not something I'm going to have today.
Sergeant, do you have the ages and sex of each of the 6?
We have the sex. We do not. We are not releasing the ages at this time. Just trying to give the family some privacy. But we do have. I believe he gave that at the beginning. You want to give that again real quick?
Also, could you spell the first name of the victim that died today?
Yes. Yuridia Martinez. It's Yuridia. Martinez, the common spelling. She was a sophomore. And then Rachel Freeman, she was our senior student that passed away yesterday. Joseph White, senior. Colby Crum, Kolby, Crum, Crum, senior male. Shiloh Hutchinson, Shiloh spelled Shilo. Hutchinson, Hutchinson, junior female, and Ashton Baza, Ashton, Baza, Baza, sophomore male. Yes, Ashton suffered, he's the one that was released yesterday. He suffered a broken leg and broken ankle, and then several, abrasions. And Joseph White, Joseph had, I'm not sure on his injuries. I know he head to toe was hurting. He had a lot of road rash, some back complaints of back injuries, and stuff like that. Colby. Joseph is, I don't know his update. He's not critical. Yeah. Colby Crum, he is at OU Med still, and he is in critical condition still. And Shiloh is in surgery right now for her broken arm and broken leg.
Can you
Yep.
or Superintendent Romine just describe the kind of the mood today here, or at the high school, schools?
Yeah, I think the mood is as expected. This was an incredible group of kids that were victimized yesterday, and so their reach in that student body at Moore High School is huge. So their injuries, their deaths have affected a lot of people, lots of students, lots of staff members. I mean, it's a somber day today, but you have a lot of kids and a lot of staff members that are leaning on each other, and we're all there. The administration is there. We have Moore PD who worked an incredibly horrific scene yesterday and did it with, I told Chief Strickland this morning, with absolute precision, a humble service that it was second to none yesterday. They served this community and those victims really well. So we've got a lot of support over there. It's sad, and but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna rebound, and we're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna support these Eurydia and Rachel's family as best as we can.
Joseph's class again, sir?
Senior.
And spell your last name.
Yeah, HORSTKOETTER.
And that's Dustin.
Yes, ma'am, Dustin.
Miss Freeman.
Rachel Freeman.
Was she about to sign a scholarship with Washita and Arkansas?
Yeah, she was going to sign a scholarship Wednesday for cross country.
The vigil tonight, I understand this is a very tough time for everybody. Is this open to the public? If people want to come out and show their support?
Sure, yeah, it's open to the public. Yeah, obviously we have limited seating there, but we'll get in as many people as we possibly can.
The only thing we'd like to add is there were a lot of witnesses yesterday. We spoke with lots and lots of witnesses. Obviously, a lot of people saw this happen, but if anyone has information about yesterday or this incident at all that didn't get a chance to speak with any of our investigators, please give us a call, because we really, really need to talk to anyone that saw or knows anything about this incident.